The topic is family.
Oh, OK, fine. I did that run very well, didn't I? So, affording your own home is very difficult in today's climate. And recently, I've been forced to live with a couple. They're called Dad and Mum. And one thing that my parents' friends all like to let me know is that they are down with the pervs. They are down with the pervs. They love the pervs. And I'm gay. I'm gay. I don't know if I needed to explain that. Well, I say I'm gay. I hardly find the time. But... I mean, I'm a Gemini as well, but they don't get a parade. But the thing is, like, their friend, Les, wanted to come over and talk to me. Les comes over and he says, oh, Tom, I've got to tell you, right, my brother, he is gay now. Gay? Now, I mean, it sounded like he'd done an evening class and become a Pilates instructor. So oh, yeah, my brother, he's gay now. He's ever so worried about telling me, He said, oh, I've got to tell you, Les, I'm gay, Les. I thought, gay, Les? That's complicated, isn't it? I didn't know you could be both. So I'm gay, Les. And I just said to him, Tom, oh, don't worry, bruv. There's one on every bus. Which I thought was a very confusing thing to say, because as far as I'm concerned, all the gays I know use Uber.
Topic is school.
Oh, OK. I'm very good at that running. So I think education has changed quite a lot since I was at school. Now I know teachers have TAs in the classroom, but this was long before the Territorial Army got involved. Back when I was at school, you basically had one teacher and 35 or 50 million children in one class. You were basically watching one person have a nervous breakdown before your very eyes. I remember my teacher, she'd be like, right, OK, we're going to do maths now. OK, tens, hundreds, thousands. OK, put those bricks away. OK, come and sit on the mat now. Come and sit on the mat. Don't piss yourself again. OK, now we're going to do reading. OK, read a bit. Can you read? Right, doesn't matter. We don't have time. OK, now we'll do geography. Geography, do you know where this is? Right, doesn't matter. We don't own it anymore. OK, now do art. OK, everyone draw this thing. OK, hold up your drawings. OK, gold star for you, smiley face for you, house point for you. What does it mean? No one knows. OK, now we learn about nature and the water cycle. Water comes up here, comes along here, falls down in your face. Now we're going to make a display about that out of foil. OK, now we're going to learn a bit more about nature. OK, everyone go out to the playground. Go out to the playground so I can have a drink. Go out to the playground and get a leaf. Bring the leaves in. Don't bring the mud in, you stupid prick. Bring your leaves in. OK, now hold up your leaves. Now draw your leaf. Now sketch your leaf. Now trace your leaf. Trace everything you can. Trace it. You've got to be able to trace. You'll never be able to get a job unless you can trace. Trace all day. It's the most important skill in the world. And colouring within the lines. No one will love you unless you can colour in within the lines. Maybe that's why he left me. Yeah, do a bark grubbing if you want, Lindsay, you show-off little bitch. All right, now take your leaves and put them on the wall and do them in the shape of a tree and do it nicely because it's for open day, which you don't understand, but my job depends on it. OK, now you're going to mummify a teddy bear. You're going to wrap your teddy bear in toilet paper, which also doubles as tracing paper. You're going to wrap your teddy bear in toilet paper. It teaches you nothing at all, but it keeps you quiet while I can do poppers. OK, now you're going to design a sarcophagus for your teddy bear, a coffin for your teddy bear, so we can all think about being dead. One day we're all going to be dead, cold and dead in the ground, which I wish I was. I wish I was dead, you bunch of... Oh, my goodness, children. It's time to go out and play. Play.
The topic is driving.
Oh. I have to drive because I run like that. Now, I don't want you guys to think I'm a failure just because I live at home with my mum and dad and I'm 35 years old. Because recently, one of the things I did is I finally passed my driving test. You would not clap if you'd seen me do it. I found the whole process very stressful, and I get quite nervous about it. And people aren't very much help when you feel nervous. Like I'd say, oh, I'm feeling nervous, and they go, oh, don't be nervous. Oh, thanks very much, I hadn't thought of it like that. Where I live, when you first pass your driving test, everyone has to go on this one rite of passage drive to an out-of-town shopping centre which goes by the name of Blue Water. And so I decided I wouldn't go on my own. I thought I'd take someone with me. I'll take my dad with me because I've got a good relationship with my dad, and I thought this would be a great way to end it. And, like, the last thing my dad taught me how to do was how to box. Yeah. when I was being picked on at school. Can you imagine? And he was just standing there going, it's all right, you just got to punch my hands. Just try punching my hands. I was cowering in the corner going, no, Dad, no, I can't do it. I can't deal with confrontation. It doesn't sound right in my accent. My Dad was going, oh, I thought you'd be much better at this. I mean, you've already got the silk dressing gown on and everything. So we're sat there in the car, right, and there's already a tension, and we're going along, and we come to some traffic lights, and they're red. That means you have to stop. I've done the theory test as well. Anyway, the lights went from red to amber to green, and I went to drive off, and what happened is I stalled the engine. And my dad, bless him, he turned to me, and he said, concentrate! Which is such a calming thing to say.
The first subject is parties.
Hello. I get invited to parties. I get invited to hen parties quite a lot. I get invited as the token gay. I know. I never seem to get invited to the stag parties. I don't know why. Maybe people think I wouldn't be very good at zip wiring through North Wales. A little while ago, I got invited to a friend of mine's hen party, a friend of mine from school, and it was being organised by her chief bridesmaid, Emma. And Emma is, how would you describe her? Passive-aggressive? I knew I had to go to this hen party because suddenly I was added to a WhatsApp group. WhatsApp, WhatsApp, what's up? I'll tell you what's up. I looked at my phone. I had 324 notifications from people I did not know. I'm in this group with the mother of the bride. We've all got to call her Mum, her sister, Auntie Wendy, and then they're all sending selfies to each other, except Auntie Wendy can't send a selfie, can she? She sends a video of her eyebrow. Twice. It's used up all my data, all my storage is gone. Then something pink covers the lens at the end of the video, which you assume is a finger, but you don't like to ask. Then I had to go to this hen cottage, right, this dream hen cottage, which was just outside Reading. I pulled up, I donned a penis headdress, put a pink sash on, got out of the car. Right, Emma was answering the door in a steadily escalating pitch of excitement. Oh, my God, hi, you look amazing, coming in. Oh, my God, hi, you look amazing, coming in. Oh, hi, Tom. Rude. Then... I had to go and introduce myself to all the other hens, and if there is one thing worse than being invited to a hen party as the token gay, it's if they've invited another token gay. And who was it? This guy, Kevin, right? He's a dancer. He's got a hat on. He's a better gay than me. You can't compete with that. Then we've got to go off and do all these activities. We started the day with a guacamole-making class. What the hell is a guacamole-making class? You can't chop an avocado. It's basically just mush. Then we had to go to a tango lesson. I can't do it. I haven't got the hips for it. Kevin can. He's actually very talented. Then, right, we had to go on a gondola ride round Reading. I mean, it's hardly Venice, is it, when you're going past a Matalan? Auntie Wendy's going, oh, it's just like St. Mark's Square, isn't it? Or is that Asda car park? Anyway, I wish I had been on a zip wire somewhere in Wales. Thank you.
And it's food.
Oh, OK. Oh, very similar topics. I once went to a buffet in Reading, and that's not even the joke. It was organised by a woman called Wendy, and it was so beige. It was so bland. It was like a buffet representation of Reading. I looked across this buffet, right? They put out sausage rolls, right, where they just whipped off the cellophane and put the corrugated plastic straight down on the table. Like we were dogs! Then we had Scotch eggs, right? Scotch eggs cut into quarters. Apparently, no one can eat a whole one. Then we had breadsticks displayed in a pint glass. I thought I was at a fucking UKIP rally. Then she starts putting down cold pizza slices next to wontons. No one's mixed Italian and Chinese cuisine like that since Marco Polo. Then she brought out the quadrant of dips. You know, the 4 dips. The 4 dips of the apocalypse. The white one. The other white one. Then there's a green one. What's that? Guacamole. Then there's a pink one. What's that made of? Sillet bang? Nobody knows. I was just glad to have something made of some sort of colour. Anyway, it was a terrible buffet, but thank you very much, Wendy.
The topic is exercise.
Also a picture of me. I'm not very good at exercise. I joined the gym. I joined Virgin Active because there wasn't a Virgin Passive. And I found the whole process very intimidating. Like, when you go in there, you're confronted with all the cardio area, like the cardio area. They call it cardio because that's where you go to have a heart attack. And then at the other end, they have what they call the free weights section, the free weights, which I have no business being in because it's for the bigger boys. The bigger boys go there all day. They're lifting things all day, trying to get big arms, trying to turn their arms into legs. And I think it all really started at school. Like, I didn't like doing PE at school. What would happen is, after assembly, one class would have to stay behind in the hall because they'd be doing gym. And I never found out who Jim was. But the worst bit was if you had to use the apparatus. And the apparatus basically was this huge, terrifying cage which had to be buckled to the wall. It was so terrifying. And older children would have to come in who'd been trained by the army. And they'd come in and they'd untether its bonds, they'd pull a lever and it would lurch out and it would swing out, and these huge, terrifying arms have to be buckled to the floor, otherwise it would just swing out and kill everybody. And it had all these bars and ropes and chains. It was very much like a weekend I recently spent in Berlin.
The first subject is school. Who wants to come on that? Tom.
Hello. I went to quite a rough school. I know. Isn't it moving? And it was a sort of school where people would come up to you and say things like, "Hey, you, do you want to fight, do you? Do you want to fight? Is that why you look at me like that? Yeah, you want to fight? Yeah, don't you want to fight? Don't you want to fight?" And I'd always say, "Oh, no, thank you. But thanks for thinking of me." Those girls could be so cruel. And at my school, to avoid getting picked on, everyone had the same of everything. So everyone had, like, the same pencil case. It was a pencil case that was made to look like a packet of Walker's Crisps. And in it, everyone had the same Oxford math set, which was like a tin pencil case, which contained a ruler, maybe a foldable ruler for travel. A foldable ruler, which was great for underlining things, wasn't it? Until you got to the middle. Big bump in the middle. And a set square, which wasn't a square, was it? It was a triangle. And a compass. Oh, I'm glad I learned how to use a compass. Not a day goes by. It's a perfect circle. It's got a hole in the middle, but it's a perfect circle. And, like, when do you even get to use that math set? I mean, occasionally you'll get to do proper grown-up maths, or math as they call it in America, don't they? But we do it more than once. When you get to do things like trigonometry and SOHCAHTOA. Do you remember that? SOHCAHTOA, SOHCAHTOA. Do you remember that? SOHCAHTOA. That's a thing. SOHCAHTOA. Sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. I mean, now, as an adult looking back, it would have been nice, wouldn't it, if they spent maybe half an hour, or even just like 10 minutes, just 10 minutes going, "This is a pension scheme." This is how you fill in a tax return. This is how you mend a broken heart. This is how you tell an estate agent to fuck off.
Thank you very much, Tom. As travel.
Travel, okay, fine. Well, I travelled from over there. One of my favourite travel experiences was at secondary school when we went on the school music trip to France. And to get on the school music trip to France, you had to be part of the choir. I was in the choir, and it basically meant you got to hang out with all the other 13-year-old homosexuals who didn't yet realise they were homosexuals and their chatty female friends. And it was a great place to go and learn how to play a show tune on the flute. Not a euphemism. And this was back in the day when it didn't matter where you were going with the school. If you went on any school trip, you had to go by coach. Like, if you go to Australia, you go by coach. This was supposed to be a 5-day trip to France. We spent 2 days on the coach getting there and 2 days getting back. It was basically a day in France. So, on this trip, you really had to make the best of the coach trip. And for me, my favourite bit was when we got to stop off at the French hypermarket. So I thought that would be a great place for me to show off how much better I am than everybody else, because I'd actually been paying attention in French. So I went over to the patisserie and I said to the man there, "Bonjour, je voudrais un croissant, s'il vous plaît." And according to the French classes, the man behind the counter should have responded by saying, "Oui." Il y a un croissant ici, which, when you think about it, is basically the equivalent of someone coming over here and saying, "Hello, I'd like to buy a pasty, please." And then the man behind the counter responding by saying, "Yes!" There is a pasty here. And not even mentioning that it's part of a meal deal. So I said, "Bonjour, je voudrais un croissant, s'il vous plaît." And then the man behind the counter responded in normal French by going, "Blah, blah, 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 blah." Absolutely no idea what he was saying. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, my friend Kevin was no help. The only French he spoke was the French horn, which is a euphemism. I mean, I say they teach us how to speak French. Most of the time, they teach us how to sing it. I mean, I could have stood there and gone, "Quelle est la date de ton anniversaire?" But the idea of a 13-year-old English homosexual standing in the middle of a French hypermarket going, "What is the date of your birthday? What is the date of your birthday?" Couldn't be any more absurd. So I just responded by saying, "Oui, oui, d'accord, d'accord." Ended up with 8 kilograms of ham.